What's up, YouTube? Judge of all trades, and today I'm talking about Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 3, The Queen's Justice. Tonight's episode was really interesting in that we're seeing all of the storylines get condensed down and converging into two very distinct storylines, of course, between Daenerys and Cersei. But even with that, still a lot happened. I don't want to give away any spoilers, so don't watch any further. If you haven't seen the episode yet, come back after you've seen it. I'm getting into it. First off, let's talk about Daenerys. Now, the big event to me was Jon Snow going to visit her, and she was very fixated on the battle that she has with Cersei. He was very fixated on the battle that he has with the White Walkers, and Tyrion acted as the intermediary between them, essentially getting him to not necessarily see eye to eye, but to get Daenerys to give a symbol of her appreciation or her faith in Jon Snow. We can't really call them allies at this point because they're not friendly yet, but at least they have confidence in each other and they're definitely on the same team. My concern is for Jon Snow though, because he has a very small group. He has maybe 12 guys, and they're the ones that are expected to mine all the dragon glass and get it back up into the north. And I don't really know how the logistics are going to work, but I'm sure Jon Snow's going to work it out. And the second big thing happening with Daenerys is that she was able to take Castle Rock, but there was no one there. The Lannisters saw a couple steps ahead, and so now Daenerys has the castle, but maybe it's just more of a moral victory because there's no point in holding on to it, and it seems like they're in a place where eventually they're just going to have to give it back up again. So while Daenerys is definitely making moves in episode 3, I don't see her actually gaining any ground, except with maybe the fact that she's starting the alliance with Jon Snow. On the flip side though, we have Cersei, and as y'all know, I'm the biggest fanboy, but she was slipping this episode. She has made some horrible moves. First off, she did not kill Elena Sand. She left her in there with her daughter from Dorne to watch her die, and she has this great revenge plot that should be emotionally taxing on her, but as we know, especially in Game of Thrones, if you're gonna kill your enemy, you have to crush them completely. And I feel like that's such an elementary move that Cersei should know at this point, that not killing Elena, I'm pretty sure it's going to come back to bite her. Cersei's second mistake I saw is that she's still encouraging Euron, thinking that someday he's going to be able to get what his heart desires or get with the queen and become the king himself. But I definitely do not see this being a functional thing. I don't see Euron and Cersei ever becoming a couple, and she should be nipping this in the bud right now before she has to do something more drastic later. And the third, and maybe the biggest mistake of the episode, is the moment when Jaime and Cersei, they're in bed together in the morning, and she gets up, she says, "I'm the queen, I can do whatever I want." She opens the door and the servant sees Jaime. It's got this awkward look on her face. I feel like one of the advantages that Cersei has is that the people are behind her, but even though they've kind of known about the whole incest thing, it's on the down low and everyone just kind of act like it doesn't happen. And if she feels like she's above the morality of the people and that she can just kind of throw whatever values she has on them and that they're going to accept it, I think she has something else coming her way, and it's going to be a huge loss if she loses the momentum of all of her supporters. So that was episode 3, The Queen's Justice. It makes me think about where we're going, and again, in terms of the two queens, I definitely see 2 more events in the future, and they are mistakes. In this episode, Daenerys was getting really cocky when she learned that Euron went through and destroyed her fleet at sea, and she said she's gonna fly with the dragons herself and go destroy Euron, which of course would be great, but she doesn't know that they got the spear gun or they got whatever weapon that they've been working on to kill the dragon. So I think they needed an event where the dragons come to clash with Cersei's forces, and it looks like this is going to be it, and Daenerys is just happily walking into it. And then from Cersei's side, we had the representative from the Iron Bank come talk to her and say, "Hey, you owe us some money," and she said, "Oh, it's all good, I got you covered." And as of the end of the episode, she absolutely does have her covered. They went and they destroyed Lady Tyrell, they took her house, and they took all of her money, and she's in a position where the Lannisters, as they always have, can repay their debts. But I feel like Cersei's getting to be with the mentality that she's above all that. And just she's destroyed everyone else, I think she's going to try to do something sketchy with Iron Bank. And that's going to be a huge mistake for her. So there was lots of moves this episode, but I feel like the only person who had a net gain in their actual objective was probably Jon Snow, and that he was able to secure the dragon glass. Let me know what your favorite moment of the episode was in the comments below. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'm looking forward to episode 4. Even though I feel like there are going to be mistakes, I'm excited to get into it, and I will be there after it, reviewing it with you guys. That's all I got for tonight. I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.